James, we've lost our Logan support this evening. We're out of the gate.
Yes.
Right out of the
Yeah.
goddamn gate. Literally when we
I
hit the red
know.
button.
What the heck, man? Logan, no. He's probably like all pissed off. Too. Oh, wait. Is he back? Nope. He's not back. Is he
We'll
back?
try. We'll try to keep phoning Logan, get his ass back, but yes, it's Hibiki Highspots. Late night Roust Bout. Down to 2. It was like 4 or 5 of us originally, but now the 2 remaining, the young stallions. James Hebert, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute.
How you doing, guys? It's me. You guys can check me out on YouTube. YouTube.com/user/jhubertsign95. You can also check me out on Twitter at jhubertsign95. Check out my CAW Wrestling League, Weymouth Youth Wrestling. That's youtube.com/user/WYW And you can also check me out on Future Entertainment. Sometimes I pop up on Hibiki TMD like tonight, and also on Wrestling Fortune 44 for the Wrestling Rundown.
And there you have it. Be sure to get over there. Check out all the goodness of James stuff. As always, hit the subscribe down below. You know why you're here. You know all the goodness. You know all the shows. Quite frankly, it's too late to name them all right now.
Oh yeah. So much stuff. If you guys appreciate the thumbnail, type a thumbs up in the chat.
Just throwing a big curveball, like we said right before we went on, trying to get Logan back on. But other than that, man, what's been going on with you and Weymouth Youth, your channel, all that stuff? What you been up to, James?
So if you're on the Weymouth Youth Wrestling channel, we've been going theme crazy, basically just posting all the theme songs of everybody that has been showcased in the Gold Rush series so far, and that's going along great right now. Pulling over at least 100 views per episode, and that's with just sending it over to as many people as possible. And now we're just starting to try to work with different tags to see if we can get into the algorithms, and that seems to be working out a lot. So we're passing 100 to 200 per episode usually, and it's great. We will be looking to we're looking to actually host our big mega event and live stream it, Immortal. That's the big pay-per-view that we're going to be, well, not really pay-per-view, but mega event we're calling it, and we're going to stream it off Twitch, actually, and Casey knows how to work OBS to make that happen. So
hopefully
we got
some good will come to the name Immortal, because when I hear it, I think of the shitty TNA stable. So
everyone says that.
Cleanse the name.
Well, I mean, hey, there we go, Logan. Hey,
is he back?
Welcome back. He is back.
I hear him clearing his throat. He brought his garlic bread, his favorite pasta sauce. Sit down at the table, Logan. Grab a fork and your Parmesan cheese. Welcome to Late Night Roustabout, man. What's going on?
What's up? How's everyone doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. We're
Logan's
talking about
flustered right now. Logan's been recording footage for the next Hibiki Pro down the line and getting his ass handed to him by Walter.
You're not supposed to say that.
Why? It's not a spoiler. It's a behind the scenes of how the movie's made, or whatever.
How the movie's made. Yes.
Logan, how's the match going? You still getting the mat wiped with you, or is the match over?
Not yet.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a long night.
Jesus. Dude, that's gonna be one long freaking thing of footage. Holy crap.
Seems like
we are doing an Iron Man match.
Fair enough.
That's a hell of a wrinkle to throw in too. I didn't even know that.
I wanted to see what you thought later.
Logan, what do you think of the thumbnail? Do you think Pastamania stood a chance in the 90s? Do you think it could have gone somewhere? Do you think it was a stupid idea to begin with? Because when I think food, I don't want to think a sweaty wrestler. It just is not appetizing.
Sweaty wrestler.
I think the whole point of him doing it was hey, if you have Hulk Hogan on this brand, it could work out.
The noodles in the picture literally look like the hair on his head, just dangling down at the side of his neck. It looks like the same hair of my hair, brother. It's ugh. I don't want any
Dude.
part of it. And I know Mean
Yes.
Gene. Shout out to Mean Gene Erkeland. He does have his own burger chain, and I've heard it's pretty good. I know a couple people that hit up Mean Gene Burgers. But that's different. It's not like Mean Gene has his shirt off and he's got like oiled up shit on him. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, maybe if Hulk Hogan, maybe if he gave, Lord can only assume what would have happened if Hulk Hogan gave Abyss and Pasta Mania, man. We'd all be fucked. It'd be out of control, according to fucking kayfabe.
And James, would at the end of the day, would you eat a bowl of pasta mania to say you did it, or you don't want any parts of it?
I mean, I'm a pasta freak, so yeah, probably. I kind of a pasta connoisseur, like low key. So yeah, I'd probably try it.
I probably would too.
I'm down to try any fucking spaghetti and meatballs ones. So.
I would too, and I think it's one of those things. And I think specifically like Italian dishes, like pastas, it's like a trigger in the brain, right? Like you just, it's like potato chips or something. Like you need to at least taste it. You can't. It's like animal instincts type shit with pasta, you know.
You know what? I was thinking though, like, is Hogan even Italian?
No, absolutely not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter.
I'm sure it doesn't matter because it's Hogan, but it's like, it's just kind of ironic that a guy who is like, not Italian is basically running a fast food Italian restaurant or attempting to.
It's always been that weird, just wrestling and I get it, like acting in movies, that's different, especially the stuff now with like the big transgender role we see with all that bullshit going on, but to play a part or whatever, and yeah, but bring it full circle, Chief Jay Strongbow, a guy who was Italian, wasn't cast as an Italian, so it's like when they had Italians, they'd make them Indians, or fucking make Samoans Japanese. It's always this weird stigma with wrestling and the races. I don't know. You think?
Yeah, it was weird.
I agree.
Dude, if Shinsuke Nakamura came in, maybe he would have been like the Samoan to Yokozuna's Japanese, who's actually Samoan. David and Goliath.
Us just explaining that made my head almost explode. It's
right.
Logan, I know you're just jumping on real quick. I know you want to get a chance to plug all your goodness. And shout out to Jenna Lee. You guys went you're pulling double duty tonight. You guys went live earlier on your channel with Jenna Lee, who was on the call earlier before she went to work on some scripts and all the goodness. But Logan, where can everyone catch you?
You guys can check me right there on Twitter at LoganMyers144, and you guys can check me out on Future Wrestling Podcast as the host of Everything Good. So go check that out, like, subscribe, and of course enjoy.
And of course, it was great to bring back Cruise Control for a nice little one-off this week. Good to catch up with 205 Live. Guys, get over there, check out James and Logan on Future Entertainment and James' channel too, J Hebertside 95. Do it now. Come back. We'll still be here, I promise. One thing that all three of us now have in common, it's crazy. We've actually known each other for a little good while now, but we all have our little nerdy creative feds now on YouTube and online and stuff. And I think, if anything, because we vented about it off air, how bad the current crop of 2K games are compared to, like, 2K14, the last good one, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure your opinion, too, James.
Yeah, it's not even close, right? So, like, not even before, like, Logan's... Like, how long have you been playing this match with Walter, Logan?
Like, I've restarted it a couple times.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because you feel like it takes an eternity to finish one match on easy difficulty now. It's stupid. Like the way they make their gameplay is so wonky now. Like I kid you not. Like when I first played it, I didn't even know how to use the new kick out system because it's a circle now, not a bar. So when I was like trying to use 2K18's kickout system, it's like, what the fuck?
I still use it and you still can set it back to the old way, just mashing, right? But I like it because it's a little bit different. Because if anything, all three of us, I feel like, have played every wrestling game that's ever come down the line. And let's admit it, man, they all become kind of Maddenish. They all kind of blend together after a while, especially the new ones. So it's great when they try to mix things up. Now, executing it well, not so much. I mean, it's okay. It's not... I don't want to say the game's broken completely. It's a fucker. It's a pain in the ass. Logan, a lot of your memory got erased tonight, right? And it's happened to me 4 times, James. 4 motherfucking times. My whole data's been erased.
Ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Like, this happened, like, little side note, I was going to start another project on top of, like, the other projects I had, and the whole goal was to literally have NXT, Raw, SmackDown as, like, the 3 main brands, and Lane was going to run one, Owen from Wrestling Fortune 44, he was going to run one, and then Colin was going to run one. Colin got Raw. We know how well was going to go. But, I mean, it was still, like, this is how we were going to do it. And we were going to live stream on Lane's channel this series, like our own brand split, and just live stream every day and simulate everything, see how shit goes. Like, we weren't even going to play. We were just going to simulate and just shoot the shit, talk wrestling. It was cool. It was fun. Well, Lane has downloaded it all. He downloaded all the arenas, all the characters, and then the next thing you know, your data is no longer there. What the fuck? Happened twice, to the point where I just flipped shit on 2K Sport. I'm like, are you fucking me? Get your fucking shit together.
And I have a PS4 that's loaded with digital games. I have shit on there like The Witcher 3. Fucking, and not just digital, everything. But I have Skyrim, all that shit. And that never fucking has happened to me ever as much as with 2K. Something about this goddamn game. And I don't want to say it's the community from, taking it feels like a risk downloading a character, because on paper, man, it's so fucking badass and so much more, it cuts out so much time. But in a way, I'm one of those old school guys with creator wrestlers. There's so much more enjoyment in just making your own and then sharing it. You know what I mean? Like, for a cheap way to get, like, footage for our show, Logan, it's great. Like, when we'll download a guy last minute. But, like, I just made the Bastion brothers, right? Because you wanted me to bring them in and stuff. And I feel like even if they don't look as good as the community, I know I made them, so I enjoy them more when you see the final product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But, like, if you download something from somebody else, like, all your data is at risk now, because, like, 2K can't get their fucking shit straight with that. And it's not even just with the data issue, which is a big, big fucking issue, right? But another issue that I've noticed, and just from watching, even before playing the game, which goddamn was trash. Honestly, that's how I feel. I was watching gameplay. There was like, right, when I type up WWE 2K18 glitch compilation, there's about like at least 100 different things of so many fucking glitches in that game.
I bet.
Like, I'll give you an example. I was playing a match. I told you this off air, Travis. I somehow tried to do a suicide dive with Aleister Black. I went through the ladder that Johnny, my friend, had like upwards, and somehow went through it. Never hit him, never hit the ladder. Just went through it and crashed and burned. And then tried to hit a drop kick, couldn't hit it. Tried to hit a springboard, couldn't hit that. At that point, I was just like freaking out. Like, I had the biggest bitch fit. I'm like, this game fucking sucks. Why can't I hit fucking anything that I'm trying to hit? Johnny's laughing because Johnny's like fucked up, like shit. So he's like thinking this hilarious. He sees me getting red, and like I'm legit pissed. And I finally win. It was, by the way, it was like 2 out of 3 falls. And we went like an hour and 15 minutes just to get that one match done. And I went 2 zip because Johnny had the same issues. And he was just laughing. I was just pissed. And I'm like, I'm never playing this game again. And then we played Far Cry. Like, it was...
The glitches are great, and they're fucking ironic, and they're hilarious when you're stoned. Now, like, if you want to record footage, it sucks. There's been many times I'm just like randomly on the outside, just walking around, and all of a sudden it's like I'm in quicksand, and there's a glitch, and it's like my feet are into the mat like it's liquid. It's like Shawn Michaels can't move because he's stuck in the liquid mat. It's like, what the fuck? Logan, what's the worst glitch you've experienced, gameplay wise?
When the rope completely wrapped around my neck and can't move.
Oh, so it decapitates you in a glitch? Oh my god. Like, I get it. Like,
rope physics in 2K games have been a blessing and a curse. It's great to see, like, you can just, randomly, like, just whatever, a guy over a rope, but it comes with so much a price to pay now with all the glitches, those shaky, wambly ropes, wobbly ropes. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, put it this way. This is what I'll say. Like, granted, it's funny if you want to look at a glitch compilation to laugh, but this is where I say that this is really it really looks bad on 2K because, one, you can't do a legit CAW league a lot of the times because, like, unlike you and me, Trav, who are, like, persistent and shit, like, other people would just rather stick to an old game and do the CAW league because they hate the new shit because the new shit keeps bugging on them. And it's constant. And it's, like, not even just with the CIW wrestling community. Like, you can look at, like, people that just do, like, CM Pulse has the same issue all the time. He gets sick of it. After a while, it just gets tiresome.
Not even that. Besides the glitches, you have stripped down features, stripped down gameplay. It feels like it runs so much slower, like you said. You've taken out everything creative story mode wise. That's gone. Completely gone. And that was one of the coolest things in modern wrestling games, in my opinion.
Yeah, and another thing, talking about the gameplay, dude. Why does Neville feel like I'm wrestling with a heavyweight character? This dude should be the fastest fucking dude in the game. Like, it shouldn't be a question. Like, why is he so slow in the game? It's fucking maddening.
Playing online with, like, Logan or a friend or whatever, I've had fun. There's been times I've had a lot of fun doing, even recording footage for Hibiki Pro. I have fun, Matt, and sometimes these matches turn out amazing. But I'd be lying if I said some of these matches didn't take multiple takes. Because, not to mention, this is maybe the most frustrating thing about recording footage on 2K18. Even though I've gone through pop-up tutorial windows a million times, for some reason, they'll randomly happen again for no and I'll just have to stop the footage. I don't feel like editing out a tutorial window pop-up, but, like, why am I seeing it 6 times? I know this. That's not good. It's little nuances like that can fuck shit up, man.
Yeah, it's
I will
stupid.
say, something I do like, I do enjoy, and people bitch about it, but I found it makes it a lot easier to edit the final product. The fact that whatever you upload or live stream 2K18 period has no music. I like that because then I don't have to go the effort to, like, splice in extra crowd noise when I take out music or change music. So I can appreciate that. It just makes my job fucking easier, I guess. I'm lazy about it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, well, that's another thing that I noticed that they took out, though, was when you could have a user playlist, and, like, they just got rid of that feature on games. I'm like, what the fuck? That was, like, one of the main reasons why people bought the game, is because you can import your own music on there. Like, the bulk of WYW is basically, you know, like, third-party sounds. Like, and I give credit to where credit's due on that, because they deserve all the credit in the world. And I'm not planning on making money off their shit, you know? I'm, you know, planning on making money maybe along the lines of, like, match clips, but, like, that's about it. I'm not getting much off that, if at all. Yeah. Probably not going to make much money off of it. But, like, the music itself is, like, that's, to have a user's playlist, I love that. Like, I get to import some themes that I've edited and use them for the show. It's great. You know what I mean? For me, that's even easier, because when you're recording the match, the theme's already in for the entrance, and then you just have to worry about when they win the match. You just have to put the theme in, like, post when they win. That's it, and it makes it so much easier. I hate that they got rid of that in future games. And then, god damn, can we talk about the fucking career mode in every game? It's all the fucking same.
But see, I always go into those bias because I never buy a wrestling game for that. Because I go into buying wrestling games like go into, like, Minecraft. Like, I'm strictly just about having fun. Because career modes always fucking suck. There hasn't been a good career mode, in my opinion, probably since, like, Here Comes the Pain. Like, that fucking far back for me.
Yeah.
I never play them for that. So either
even
way,
Raw
I don't.
Too.
But
Raw
I
2
have played some of it. I've seen my kids. My kids didn't even like. My kids are like, "This is dumb." I'm like, "Yeah, but it is."
Dude, I legit, when WYW becomes a weekly show, I shit you not, I'm making Baron Blade a fucking jobber, because fuck Baron Blade. My god. That's the blandest fucking character I've seen anybody, and it is by the developers of the fucking game. Like, you could have at least, like, when they did it on 2K15 and Baron Blade made his debut, it's neon green everything, and he looked like such a generic piece of shit, and he was like, you had these legendary matches. In reality, though, you squashed him in 5 minutes. It just looked, who the fuck is Baron Blade? It's like,
This is great too because it's the longest game review I've ever done on the channel. I've done like over 100 game reviews. So, but I was gonna say the list of complaints. Literally, it sounds like we're exaggerating. It doesn't stop there for me. Another huge one that pissed people off, James and Logan, the rollover, the straight up the same fucking arenas from 2K17. The same for the most part, a few new ones, but Jesus Christ, just the lackluster effort. Some of the worst character models I've ever seen. The Randy Savage in 2K18 is abysmal. That's pathetic. I don't know if you guys have used them at all or any of the listeners. I could make one in fucking 5 minutes better than the 2K18 version. And it's not just him. There's a lot of guys that it's like shoddy fucking design. And it's just
Yeah,
ugh. But I do
you
give them
could look
credit.
at
They
Dana
marketed
Point,
2K18. They got us. They got everybody from the for one. That fucking trailer and commercial was can't miss. It was one of the best video game trailers I've ever seen, bar none. But they
Yeah.
even kind of hinted at in interviews and just anything about the game info to leak it out. I was like, you're gonna get more of this, and it's gonna be different. Don't worry, we're gonna fix things you guys complain. And that's
And it
something
was
game developers always fucking do, and we fell for it. Now you notice now with 2K19, they're not as much loud and proud this time because they know how much they piss people off with this half-ass effort. They're just showcasing DLC right now and focusing on that more than new modes because there's not going to be any new fucking modes. I guarantee you.
It's the same game. I even said that. Like I called them out on every social media platform as soon as like AJ was announced as to cover. I'm like, oh look, another game that's probably going to be the same as last year's, with a few added features that no one's going to give a shit about.
But I gotta look in the mirror too and be like, well, shame on me for falling for it. But at the same time, this is the first wrestling game I bought since 2K14. Since this gen, I saw the reviews for 15. Woof. 16 was a little bit better, people thought, than 15. But Christ, that's like being better than, I don't know, Brooklyn Brawler. I don't know, as a wrestler in general. But 2K17 seemed promising, I guess. It was like, okay, we're almost getting there. But then it was just, flatline. Fucking same shit.
And then same thing with 2K18. It was pretty much the same shit there, and now it's probably going to be the same shit this year. And I'm tired of it. Like fuck your new gen. Fuck it.
I can't give it a F because without 2K18, I wouldn't be having a blast with you, Logan, doing Hibiki Pro. So some goods come out of the game. I'll give it like a C- if I'd have to review the game just for Hibiki Pro being there. What do you think, Logan?
Sure.
Logan, have you enjoyed your time with 2K18 more than you've hated it, or is it like you think this is just a piece of shit game?
Logan. I thought it's been a piece of shit game lately, especially with all the errors and all that. But then again, the graphics are really good and stuff like that. Can't complain about that.
For certain angles on like models of some of the mocap suits or whatever, they're really good. But then another time, it's just like, well, this is like just like they used to be on like 360 or whatever. Like they're not that much better.
The worst model I've seen is Dana Brooke. Oh my god.
Ugh, Bailey's.
Dude, that is. Bad. Yeah, Bailey's is
the biggest one. We saved the worst for last. I can't believe the complaints are still going. The fucking load times. I just dropped the mic.
Dude,
Holy shit. Holy shit. Unacceptable.
GTA 5. That's why a lot of people don't like GTA 5. They like GTA 3 and GTA 4 a lot better because the loading times were not as long. It's like, what the fuck?
But see, open world games, they have that, and GTA Online totally has that. I don't.
Yeah, and honestly, it sucks, but I can understand it from that perspective. WWE, dude, 2K has no fucking excuse. Give me a break.
You know what makes 2K18 I feel like worse than and I agree. GTA 5 Online is unacceptable too with the load times. But for 2K18, it's everything. Just backing out of a menu to another menu has a load time sometimes. It's like, right, God forbid you do like a 6-man tag match in a created arena with all created guys. You might as well go take a shit. Because you could take 2 shits and come back, it's still loading. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I remember we did that at my friend Chris's house. Like we did an 8-man tag team match with like 4 creative guys, and it took like eons for it to fucking load. It was fucking bad, dude. It was so bad.
I should have just made the thumbnail the game in flames. That's it. No title, nothing.
The game, dude. 2K just needs to back out of wrestling, period, because it's just not good.
It's time for another developer to fuck it, man. It's going to sell regardless. The name will sell it. You know what I mean? I don't think passing it to another developer will totally. I mean, somebody's got to see what's going on here. You know, but I mean, if money talks, bullshit walks, people are still buying it, and it's not going to change. So, it is what it is.
I don't think the people will buy it too much this year. I guarantee you, it's probably not going to be that bought. You'll probably get like a couple 100,000 buys, but it will be a far cry from compared to the last buy, which they hyped up with fucking Kickstart My Heart.
And I totally agree with that. I don't think educated consumers like us three who know better aren't going to do it. The thing about a game like an NFL, like a Madden or WWE, what always makes it sell for that specific kind of game, though, is the grandparents at the Christmas times and the birthdays buying it for the grandkids because it's WWE. Because my grandkid loves this, I'm buying it. You know what I mean? They're just going to get it regardless. So it's like that's still money in their pocket, even if it's not an educated consumer. So that's what sucks about it. That's the catch-22 about big business, man. Fuck.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't like big business. I don't know. To be honest with you, like just shit like that pisses me off. They can do a half-ass effort, and nothing matters. Hey, guess what? Half-ass effort, fuck you. And I just never believed in that. I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't you maximize your profit? Like fucking put all the effort and make 10 times more than what you would have made. At least you fucking tried. Even if it's shit, at least you fucking tried. I feel like 2K isn't really fucking trying. Especially this year. Oh my god. They haven't announced a single new mode. I guarantee you they'll still not announce a single new mode. You'll get a few new characters and it'll be like, there you go.
I swear to God. And there's rumors that they're going to release a couple of the UK guys as a DLC pack. Whatever, fine. But I swear to God, if they're like the 2017 tournament attires, like old Pete Dunne attire, like, fuck. Yeah, but I want my shit updated. What's the big deal? Just throw some fucking images on there and shit. I know why they do is like, well, they'll have to buy the next game then if they want the new version.
I'm tired of it. I'm just tired.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, did you guys happen to catch NXT this week? I know we didn't do Next Level this week, Logan, but I thought it was a good episode.
I believe it. Yeah, I did. The one with I didn't watch this week, so I watched last week. So
this week was a 6-man with Ricochet and the new champs, Mustache Mountain against Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
My God, must-see match. Just the entrance alone, like it was just going to be Mustache Mountain defending against like two developmental guys, two jobbers. During the developmental guys' entrance, Undisputed Era beat the shit out of them, and then it was great. They're just killing it right now. That is must-watch promotion. I think anyone who says NXT isn't must-watch right now is just being fucking contrary, as usual, just to be contrary, because it's great. It's just enough. It's the right pace. It's the right amount of time. I still, to this day, even though the Attitude Era was 2 hours with Raw, I still feel like 1 hour is always that sweet spot, perfect time for a great wrestling show. It's always going to be for me. That's all you need.
I will say though, even if NXT goes 2 hours, I still think they would make it work too. Because oh my god, they're stacked. It's just incredible, how much they're fucking. And now they're bringing in a whole new brand with NXT UK, which I'm fucking hyped for.
There was also there was a confrontation with Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black. It looks like that's going to be the next challenger. I know that you're hyped for that. I'm hyped for it.
I am. I think it's the right call. It's definitely the right call.
Absolutely.
I think it's the two right guys, too. The two most perfect guys right now. And you know what? It's time. It's time to move on from Gargano and Ciampa. And they're even kind of booking Gargano on this week's NXT. If either one of you get a chance or any of the listeners. He's kind of being whiny and stuck in the past and butthurt. Even Candice LeRae had a singles match this week and beat. And, what's her face? The girl, the 1940s military gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But Lacey Evans, she beat her. And after the match, they did a post-match interview. And Candice just kept, driving it home I'm glad to not be living in the past of Tommaso Ciampa. So they're booking him like this pathetic piece of shit kind of right now. And they need to be careful. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah, it's great. Definitely great.
I don't think that's lasting. Honestly, I feel like Johnny Gargano's gonna beat the fuck out of him. Like, it's gonna happen again, and I can't wait.
They might be doing what they did with like Zayn and Owens when they were in NXT, and they might be saving them for like a main roster feud. But from what we've seen, I can't fucking wait for that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We'll see. We'll see. You can only hope that, you know, fucking shit will go well. But yeah, I feel like with those two, it's some of the best television that they've had. Honestly, I feel like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa's feud has given an even bigger life to that company. To be honest, like, or I keep calling it company; it's their brand, but it feels like a separate entity. It's just it's just some great shit. Honestly,
I mean, and you got to give them credit because if anything, this is a feud that made everyone look like assholes. Because I did it. I'm pretty sure Logan did it. James, you probably did it. When they first split up DIY, I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing? But now they got us. You know what I mean? I didn't think it would work at first. I didn't think people want, like, in like 01 or whatever, when they tried to make the Hardys finally have matches, people didn't care because nobody wanted to see that. You know what I mean? Who wants to see Riggs and Murtaugh fight and Lethal Weapon? You want to see them team up, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I will say that I think it was bound to happen because honestly, like, Gargano and Ciampa looked like single stars anyway, and they were just kind of like thrown into a team, and they became fucking over just for their sheer work rate alone. But then, like, I mean, it's clear as day. Like, I even said it from day one, they were probably going to be better singles wrestlers, and it shows. I mean, my God, Johnny Gargano's got like how many 3-star matches? Tommaso Ciampa's got like 2 with Johnny Gargano. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. And then, like, the thing that aggravates me though is like, I don't know. Like, I wish that WWE just gives some fucking time. Because goddamn, I'm sick of seeing guys that, like, you see the potential and then they fuck it up. I'm tired of it. That's why I don't watch, like, the main product anymore, honestly. Because, like, I know if they go to the main roster, they're fucked. I mean, and you want to know something that I was listening to also, Trav? You know the Jim Cornette's podcast, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I was listening to a clip of that, and he was talking about how OVW and like how he was running it and making like all these future stars, and like he named like a who's who of people that have been in OVW that were like great in OVW. But
man, I was literally, I think, just listening to that clip like today or yesterday about fucking. Yeah. He talked about Rico, Nick Dinsmore, all those guys.
Yeah, and it was like as soon as they go to the main roster, they're fucked. And I'm like, that's exactly what's happening now. And like it's pretty much the same thing. It hasn't changed since 2004. Like, holy shit. You know,
I wish I could have been on Cornette's show because when he talked about Nick specifically, and I agreed with him on everything except this, Nick Dinsmore came up with Eugene. That was all him. But other than that, like the Basham brothers, Johnny Jeter. I have gone back and watched Johnny Jeter's stuff from OVW. That guy could have been a fucking star. Like seriously, like what Ziggler is now. Like something. But Jesus Christ, the potential that was just wasted in that era. You know,
Johnny Jeter. I mean,
every single guy in the Spirit Squad, except
Mike Capitelli too. Mike Capitelli too is freaking deceased now, and they're putting him in the Warrior Award when he should have been a Hall of Famer, full on. You know.
Rest in peace, Matt Capitelli, of course. You know, that's in the news. It's something that literally just broke too. To see if you guys saw this. Besides him winning the Ring of Honor World Title, did you see the accusations from Ring of Honor women's competitor Taylor Hendricks towards Jay Lethal for like sexual misconduct? But she can't back her claims up, so it's like she's being attacked right now or something. I'm out of the loop on it. I don't know a lot of info about it.
She can kick rocks. you want me to be honest with you, Trev? She can kick rocks.
I was a fan of hers too. Like, that sucks. I thought she was great. I don't know. She's a beautiful woman, but
That's about all that's going for, Trav. Honestly, I don't know what you saw in her because I felt like her in-ring skills were trash. Her promo skills were trash.
Do you guys
Like,
know the specifics,
nowadays.
like on this situation? at
Not
all?
really.
Apparently, Jay Lethal, according to her, this is her side of the story, went up to her like back when she was in TNA and he was in TNA. Like if he didn't lay with her or lay with him, excuse me, then she wouldn't get a push and then she wouldn't get signed by fucking TNA. I guess this is like her first time around trying when she was in OVW and like TNA had OVW, it was just like developmental territory or whatever, and like she didn't get in, so she tried to get in the second time for gut check and still got like pretty much canned because of the history with Jay Lethal. This is what she's claiming, I think.
And she was probably frustrated now because the performance center won't give her the time of day. She can't even get a tryout. So she's desperate. So she digs up anything she can. So she takes a fucking encounter from years ago, which she's totally blown out of proportion over the years or some shit. And waits till now. Amazing how this always happens. I know they're victims. Yeah, I call bullshit on this. Jay Lethal is one of the most respected guys in the business.
Exactly. Well, and we were just talking about it. It's like Enzo clearing pretty much everything that happened, and actually talking about what actually happened. Like I know Enzo's no Jay Lethal, believe me, but
for Christ's sakes, Jay Lethal was engaged to fucking AJ Lee before she was even in WWE, and it's like, I'm pretty sure he's bagged a few that are probably better than you, Taylor. No offense. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. It's like, here's what happened, sweetie. And this is exactly what I said on Logan's show. You probably saw Jay Lethal's salami, and it's like, I'm going to ride that.
Oh, did you guys talk about this on your show? I didn't even know.
Yeah, we did. Like, we talked about it, like, briefly, Jay Lethal's issue. We more talked about Enzo, because Enzo kind of went through the same bullshit. So it was like, fuck.
Well, I hope Jay Lethal doesn't put out a video talking about his penis, like Enzo did.
Yeah, well, I mean, Enzo's Enzo. But, I will say, though, like, the Enzo interview with Austin may have been, like, probably one of the better interviews Austin did, ironically enough. Like, because it was like a tell-all. I don't really know what I can believe about the whole Raw 25 deal, but I do believe in everything else because it's not that hard to believe.
A lot of people call bullshit that, he was supposed to be the thread segment throughout the entire show. The way he mapped that out and said that on the Austin show, I could have totally seen them doing that. That's so WWE.
Exactly.
It is so WWE. I don't even begrudge him for that. Yeah, get that pay, dude. Like,
look, I'm no fucking Enzo Amore fan, but I don't want to see anyone drugged through the mud that didn't do something like that. So I'm happy for him, but he doesn't do himself any fucking favors when he speaks. And for the most part, he was pretty reserved on Austin's podcast. He wasn't insufferable like he usually. He would just seem down to earth on this.
I feel like he was trying to. And I kind of respect him for it now because it really didn't... he's Eric in this podcast. He's not really Enzo. Like, you can tell there's a difference. I think he was always Enzo while he was working for WWE. I think he was always playing a character.
Look, everybody in life has let one little dumb mistake, one little side fuck up something in the end big for him. And I think this is a guy... He was obviously happy. He wore shirts that said "Greatest Day of My Life." Like, he had 6 different kinds of those shirts a week. If he would have just said something, and I know it was a random email, bro, whatever, but a heads up, and I feel like you kind of feel sorry for him, but on the other hand, you're like, what a dumbass. But because I've been there before. Not that specific type of situation, but I've been in a situation, not sexual like that, but like how I didn't tell an employer about like a prior like misdemeanor. Okay, I'll dox myself. It was something like that. You know what I mean? But like a theft thing, misdemeanor theft, and it got me fired or prevented me from moving up at my employer. So it was like, yeah, I kicked myself in the ass. So but to come out and be like, consensual penis and bluity blue and all this shit, you're not doing yourselves any favors, man.
Well, no, I know. That you don't have to tell me that for it not to be true. Yeah, he's not doing himself any favors. And by the way, that rap is trash. But
it's garbage, man. It's ugh.
But right. I feel bad because it's not like, here's the reason. It's not like he did anything wrong in the situation. Like, yeah, I know people like, you should give him a heads up. You should give him a heads up. Why? You know what I mean? He went to his fucking attorney. There was no case filed. There was nothing. There was absolutely fucking nothing.
Because you're a public figure in the Me Too era. That's why. It's not like the dude works at fucking Burger King. It's like, I don't have to tell my boss. Fuck
yeah, well, so is Jay fucking Lethal. You know what I mean? And Jay Lethal has not gotten fired yet. Neither is Michael Elgin. His case is still going on. So it's like I don't understand. It's like, well, like this is what pissed me off about WWE. Like, yeah, I get it. Ring of Honor and WWE are two separate playing fields, but Ring of Honor is still known nationally.
I think Ring of Honor, they can't dispose of guys. Like, they need guys a hell of a lot more than WWE needed Enzo Amore too. You know. So they're like, well, they'll do anything. I don't know why you'd hold on to Elgin so goddamn tight, but you know.
Well, then that comes down. This is what I say. Like, what I say comes down to this. Like, if Enzo was not needed, why did WWE feel the need to just get rid of him and panic? Like if WWE was going to have a whole show around him, why panic? Why panic?
Yeah.
There hasn't been any proof.
Yeah.
There literally was nothing. Like, even the night of, too, and this is what infuriates me about it. There was even a fucking guy, a YouTuber, that was friends with the girl who fucked Enzo, who literally showed, hey, guess what? I fucked a wrestler, referring to him. It was already debunked. The night after. Like, that's what frustrates me about it. It was pretty much debunked. And they still fired him. Like, it was like guilty until proven innocent. That's not how this fucking country works. Fuck off.
Well, they just wanted their
excuse
too, because they didn't like him, flat out. You know.
Yeah, I don't fucking, people don't like the fucking.
I'm not agreeing with it at all. I think it's shitty what they did. I'm just saying they didn't like him. That probably didn't help his case either. All the incidents we heard about.
Yeah, it's like fucking, I could understand if it's like, but it's not like Enzo went to it's not like Enzo pulled a Logan Paul and went to the Suicide Forest to fucking film somebody.
Yeah.
God, you know what I mean?
Do that now. Enzo's going to go on the streets and film a junkie, and the junkie's going to OD, and Enzo's going to get raked over the coals.
Well, something happened with Logan's thing again. Oh well. He'll probably come back eventually. But yeah, it's like, I just don't understand it, dude. It's like I get it, Enzo. I wasn't the biggest fan of Enzo either, but like, no one deserves that shit when he didn't do it. Period. Fuck off. I mean, let this be a lesson to Enzo. This is all I'll say. Because this is his fault. Just don't stick your dick in crazy. That's it.
Because it sticks it back right up your fucking ass. It screws you harder. Other end of the spectrum. Let's flip the script. I haven't done a legit Slam Pigs in a while. I haven't talked about any kind of news. Big Cass also gone. Totally different reasons. Totally different circumstances. But I know a million people have said it by now. They just said it before I got a chance to say it. Like I said, I haven't done a show or whatever. But who would have thought Carmelo would have outlast these guys? Unreal. I've gone on so many. I think when I was a guest on your show like a year and a half ago, I even say every time I got a chance to talk about Big Cass and Enzo when they were hot, the modern New Age Outlaws, what they had on their hands as far as merch, all that shit.
Absolutely, it was so dumb for them to break him up. Like, I even said it to this day. I'll still say it to this day. Even if Enzo had backstage heat coming out about him, it was so stupid to break him up.
Can they at least get one fucking run under their belts before you broke them up? That was the thing when everybody's like, they split the New Age Outlaws up. You remember, James, like 99, right? And they had their first singles match. They at least had a 2-year run before they did that. It's like these guys didn't even get a fucking chance to even sniff a gold belt, let alone get a decent angle.
Yeah, exactly. And including NXT and WWE. It was like, what the fuck?
And that speaks, I feel like, to the old guard backstage with like the confusion when they think about the attention spans now of people. There's such a miscommunication because they don't come from the technology era, obviously. They come from that late 90s attitude era, brother, still, right? So it's not, they think it has to be so fast paced. It has to change. The angles have to change on the fly because the kids are going to watch their Minecraft videos if we don't do it fast. No, storytelling is timeless. It's fucking timeless. Why? You know?
It is. It absolutely is. Like, you make a good point too, because it's like if it's so, right? Attention span is attention span, right? Here's the thing that I have. I'm kind of a kid in this era, so like I I know about attention span. If anybody knows attention spans, it's the kid with autism. Okay, so I know about that shit. So here's the thing: I was watching Wrestle Kingdom with Owen. We were live reacting to it. I hadn't even watched the show yet, or I might have. Actually, no, I lied. I did watch the show, and then I rewatched it with Owen because Owen was the guy with fresh eyes, and I was pretty much the guy who already watched it, who was filling him in on everything. So I was watching it with him, and it was a breeze, and it was 5 hours. It didn't feel like 5 hours. It felt like 3. It felt like a Monday Night Raw, but better. It felt great. It was great. I was like, I'm glad I watched the show. I want to watch more, and I did watch more, and I'm still watching more. Like, if you tell good stories, it's timeless, period. And look at what's going on with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They've been going over every single NXT. They've been going over the 2-hour limit every single time. And they're still doing it. So,
and what's they don't even realize it's even easier than like making a movie. Pro wrestling show can literally be so streamlined as long as there's semblances of pieces of a story that make fucking sense. There's an outcome, there's a protagonist and antagonist. You can make it as basic as the dialogue in Forrest Gump, and it'll still get a pass. Unlike a movie where it has to have crescendos and climaxes and all this, pal. You know what I mean? That's different. Pro wrestling is not fucking hard to book. I said it on Union Smack last week, or somebody's show I was on last week. I kept, apologies. You're going to kill me, whoever's show I was on. But I was like, I could give my son a piece of paper and a pen and go, book AJ Styles and Nakamura right now. Sit him down, have him write it out. Be 10 times fucking better than what we've gotten this year, by far.
absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, everyone's like, well, their last match was the best match that they've had in WWE. That's not saying much.
That's another thing that I always try to drive home. But if there's no incentive, what's the fucking point? You can have a 10-star match, but if it's just going to be this even Steven bullshit where nothing changes in the end, there's no progression in the story, what's the fucking point?
I want to be very clear about something too. Everyone was like, this was the best match they've had in WWE, so all is okay. Shinsuke Nakamura literally got punted in the dick and looked like a bitch. Do we not see the problem with that? Like, I get it. It's AJ and Shinsuke. I get it. You want to still hold on to the New Japan days? They're not New Japan, dude. He got kicked in the dick. And then a phenomenal forearm, and that was enough to keep him down. You might as well have done another fucking double count out finish. It probably would have been better. And it wouldn't have made a fucking difference.
Not even that, and not for nothing. How many matches did they have now in total? That the feud's over. It's like 4 or 5 marquee matches at least, right, on pay-per-views and shit. Not once did Nakamura ever get the belt. And I feel like besides the Hogan era and the very beginning of Austin's first title run, there's always been, like, you need at least some kind of change in there, or some kind of momentum shift at some point to not just the narrative, but just credibility to Nakamura. You have not only taken Nakamura, who is one of your most over babyface. You know what? You want to turn him heel? Fucking fine. I gave it a chance. But not only did that not fucking work, with this, what you've done now, you've like cut off his arms and his legs. You really just have a torso and his head there. This Jeff Hardy feud does nothing for me. He is beyond stagnant. He doesn't feel special. There, I said it. You took it all off already. How scary is it of how fast you can do that to a guy, James, like Nakamura? And I'm not trying to bitch the whole fucking show. I'm really not. But my God, and I'd see it too, man. I see the people that'll defend this little run they've had together in WWE. It was the matches were good. They all told different stories in the matches. I want to see a different story in the fucking story. How about that? I'll just go watch their New Japan matches, which are better than all their WWE matches combined if I want to see them have good fucking matches. Shit.
Dude, it's not even just that. Like, people are saying, like, well, they told different stories. Guess what stories were fucking better? Pop quiz, ladies and gentlemen. WWE stories with Shinsuke and AJ? Or New Japan's? I think you know the fucking answer. Sorry, that's the truth. You could... Don't even call me like, oh, indie-rific people. You guys always about the indies, and I hate people that say that. Look, if the shit's good, the shit's good. AJ and Shinsuke's feud in New Japan was fucking awesome. It was some of the best fucking shit they've done. You know what else was fucking awesome? Even though it's admittedly overhyped. Kenny Omega, Okada. Fucking awesome feud. Awesome string of 2 years with matches between those two. And it was fucking simple. That
and I don't want to hear that
AJ and
indie shit from people because I can prove them wrong. I'll go retro on their ass with an example of that. Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog. Shawn Michaels' first title reign in '96. People should still be talking about that feud to this day, but because Shawn went over every fucking time and didn't want to do business, the matches were great. Oh, but it's nothing memorable. It didn't matter in the end. It's not something that'll go down because of that. You know, that one-sided booking philosophy in a way. Just dumb, throwing in Diana Hart with like, Shawn, I know that you want me, all this bullshit that wasn't needed. That's what happens. A year from now, this feud about AJ Styles and Nakamura, we won't even be talking about or think about because it'll be that forgettable. I guarantee.
And everyone's talking about like, and people don't talk about that whole thing with Shawn and Brett. Everyone talks about the backstage heat they legitimately had because that was a better story than what they were telling on TV. Period.
Right.
Period. That shit that they were telling on TV was fucking garbage.
And eventually they learned their lesson. They learned their lesson and learned that the backstage shit's what needs to be on camera. And it works. Every fucking time that works. Matt Hardy and Edge worked like a charm. Went off without a hitch. You know?
And by the way, and another thing too, while we bring that up, I remember when they had the Iron Man match, 1 hour Iron Man match. That story was great that they told. Fucking phenomenal television between how they were hyping these two up. Like, this was like a make it or break it match for them. Like, that's how they hyped it up. It felt like a big fight feel, and it was simple. It was an hour long. It felt like they went overtime, and you had your Shawn Michaels boyhood dream moment. Guess what everyone remembers about the Survivor Series match? The fucking screw job.
Yeah.
And as great as that moment was, nobody's going to fucking remember the match because of the controversy around it.
Plus, that match was dog shit anyway. It was brawling in the crowd, couple spots, but there was like, you can tell neither one of those guys, you could tell they were both on the edge of their seat with anxiety if you watch that match back, watch them work. I don't think they even cared about community. They just wanted to get through the night. There was so much stress, I feel like. And they were just like, let's just go out, fucking brawl, blah, blah, blah. We won't need to do a lot because all the heat. And man, you're right. You're absolutely right. That match sucks. And there's a reason it's not memorable match-wise.
And by the way, and another thing, too, it's like, that at least, though, it was controversy in a good way because, boom, magic struck with the Mr. McMahon character.
Yeah.
This is controversy in a bad way with AJ and Shinsuke and how that feud ended. Because,
to coin
AJ's
Cornette,
got
man.
momentum.
Well, I'll coin Jim Cornette on this. You hurt the fans' fucking feelings with this feud. You build up their WrestleMania match like the great, and they did a good job. I was hyped going to their Mania match. The ending, whatever, but at least the rematch should have been just as good. I don't know, but you just kept letting the fans down. I don't think it was the finishes that let the fans. It was just the fact that this is based around penis kicking is what just shooed everybody away in the end.
It was fucking ridiculous. Like, and I think about it, and it's like, that's what this whole feud was based around, was dick punching and dick kicking. What the fuck? Like, and I'm thinking about this, like, fuck you. You've used New Japan footage before. I don't want to hear like, oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't. They've done it before. You easily could have gotten a Wrestle Kingdom 9 match or whatever it was. It might have been 10. I think it was 9. I don't remember now. But it was at a Wrestle Kingdom. It was fucking great. Could have gotten their shit. You could have gotten all the matches they've had in New Japan. You could have had all the footage you needed to tell the story. You could have had a whole different thing. Shinsuke's jealous of AJ's success, and that's why he punched him in the dick. At least there's substance to why he punched him in the dick, but instead he's like, I don't speak English. I think it's just funny because I'm punching him in the dick. That's all it is. That's all this fucking feud was they enjoyed kicking each other in the fucking balls. It was so fucking stupid. This is shit, like, dude, I was talking to this about with my friend Matt, and I was talking to his brother, who's like 11 years old, and I was explaining this to him, and he's like, I'd rather watch a Markiplier Let's Play. Those were his exact words to me.
I'd rather watch an 8-hour stream of like a Tetris Let's Play than any of that feud again, honestly.
It was so bad. I'm sorry. Like, people like I think you're, and I've heard this too. I think you're too critical. Really?
You know what I say back? You know what I say back? Do you have fucking eyes? My God, I'm neglecting the chat. I'm so sorry. Hammers has been in there. AJK, thank you, first time stopping by. We're not on our game. This is just a nice little gathering. I cannot believe people are listening to us rant, but Hammers just keeps putting in the chat Elmo for NXT.
Fucking Hammers. I love Hammers.
Thank you guys.
Hammers great. I appreciate all you guys watching now that appreciate me. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm tired. I just fucking like botched. But anyway. Oh my God, man. Yeah, fucking hashtag me too, says AJK.
Let's talk about something awesome that I love talking with you about, and I'm going to make you talk about because you're on my show.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about some old school ECW, man, because you, like me, are an encyclopedia.
Fucking love ECW, man. In fact, I was actually watching Wrestling with Regret's review of ECW, Guilty as Charged 2001, and I think Barely Legal 97. It was like, God, the feeling in that atmosphere never changed once, did it?
No.
Like, God damn. It's just, everyone was over. Everyone had a thing to do, and it was just like, it was Vince Russo booking done right. Like, that was the epitome of ECW, really. It's just the crowd was always hyped for everything. Even the total elimination squash with the Dudley Boys. Like, to think about the Eliminators squashing the Dudleys pretty much almost, and, you know, beating the Dudleys pretty convincingly. And you know, look at where they're at now. It's just kind of sad in a way, but it's also like, it's good to watch back at that and see how, you know, hear that old quirky total elimination.
another amazing thing to see, those two shows specifically, the first and the last pay-per-view, is how far Rob Van Dam had come. He got the shit boot out of him, Barely Legal 97. He was doing the I'm Friends with Lawler gimmick, plus him and Lance Storm kind of had a shitty match with like one of the worst chair shots I've ever seen from Lance Storm, which got him booed. He was supposed to be a face. Crowd hated RVD. He told the fans to go fuck himself. But in 01, he was treated like Jesus in Jerusalem or something, just chilling. And you got to think, I mean, if that wasn't, he was going to win the belt. If just the way that show ended with him like out there with Rhino and all that shit, I feel like that was the next angle. It was beyond time.
Van Dam. It was going to be Van Dam too. Like you could tell it was going to be Van Dam. It sucks because he never got to have that moment like in the original ECW.
Is the most underrated feud. I feel like it is, but in the history of ECW, it does get talked about. But when people bring up ECW, you know, Raven and Tommy Dreamer and Taz, and Mike Awesome and Masato Tanaka to this day.
Fucking love those.
And look, everyone knows I'm not a Spot Fest guy, but these are guilty pleasure matches. Specifically, like Heatwave '98. Those matches are awesome. No pun intended. Maybe there was. I could go back and watch them any day. I loved that feud. I don't care how much Tanaka no sold. See, he was the only guy that did that. Now, I get it now where it's like all these matches, these kids in their high spots not selling. If it's every match, that's different. But Tanaka was just this crazy FM. Yeah.
And by the way, and the only other person that was really doing that shit was Taz. Like, he was the only other one doing it. And he sold like one suplex by Bam Bam. And by the time Tanaka hit a suplex of his own.
And by the time Tanaka came in like 98 with Mike Awesome and started having those matches, Taz wasn't even doing that gimmick anymore. He was just like, you know, he was still a badass, but he would sell for like, you know, matches. But when he eventually beat Shane Douglas at Guilty as Charged, they had a back and forth match. It wasn't like a squash, but so even Taz wasn't doing it then. So he was like the only guy then that did that. It made him stand out. You know, obviously he had to do something like that because he couldn't speak fucking English.
Dude, it made him look like a fucking badass. Masato Tanaka, like everyone, like even though he's underrated, like people will, if you mention to an ECW fan Masato Tanaka, they're like, that dude was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because he took so much fucking abuse. I remember Mike and I were like, because we're huge ECW, and like he's a huge Mark IV too, and like we just reminisce of like Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome matches, and how fucking awesome they were. Like legit, like they were balls to the wall, fucking crazy shit. Like, oh my god. And talk about like the Heat Wave '98 match, like people are accused Mike Awesome of being too reckless. Talk about the fucking awesome bomb that he took on fucking pretty much pure concrete, like head first.
And then by then, like, they got over so much of those matches. Both of those guys would end up winning the world title at some point. But I remember, like, Mike Awesome had a match with Spike Dudley, like, a year later. And Jesus Christ, the damage that Spike Dudley took in those matches with Mike Awesome, still to this day, they hold up. They're brutal. Yeah. What would you say is, like, the most overrated feud? So that's a little more tricky with ECW specifically. My heart kind of wants to say, I feel like the Raven and Sandman feud, it's kind of dog shit looking back. The matches don't hold up a lot.
Raven versus Sandman. Like, as far as match quality, yeah, that's probably the most overrated. But, my God, the way they told that story, though, was really well done still. Like,
Story-wise, it was cutting edge. It was ahead of its time, honestly. It was beyond controversial with the crucifix stuff. I just mean, like,
I kind of forgive it, though, because you knew Sandman couldn't wrestle. Like, everyone knew. Like, every ECW fan knew he couldn't wrestle. He was the drunk guy playing wrestler, and he was great at his role. I mean, it fit with the times so fucking well. You know what I mean? Like, he was in the right place at the right time, and Heyman gave him an opportunity to, like, hey, drunk guy, go and fucking do flips and shit. You know what I mean? And it got over. It wasn't just the theme and all that shit. Like, him just botching got him over because he was the drunk guy playing wrestler, and people could relate to that, especially around that time. Holy shit. You know how many people had fucking beers in the ECW crowd?
Yeah, Pat Guy, all those guys. I will say I'm glad we're over, like, like this infection now of all these ECW reunions. Like, it's going away. Like, sadly, either most of the guys that died off, they're too old to do it, or the act has just been done now. Like, that nobody's really yearning for an ECW reunion. That's why there's House of Hardcore now. So, like, I'm glad those stopped. Like, when TNA started doing them, woof. Yeah. You know.
Well, TNA, like, TNA left it at the one show. I can understand they want some of that ECW nostalgia pop.
Their pathetic attempt to, like, turn down the lights dark blue to make it look like the old ECW was just kind of funny.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Sin Cara coming out. What the fuck is this? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I will say though, the one person that stood out to me in that whole show, and I was like, how the fuck did the guy not get a contract after his performance? Too Cold Scorpio. What the fuck? How did you not sign him to the X Division? That guy had been away for fucking eons. I hadn't even seen him prior to when he fucking came back out of nowhere in TNA against C.W. Anderson.
That was Hardcore Justice. That was what, like 2010?
Yeah, it was Hardcore Justice. Yeah, 2010. And he looked better than ever.
Yeah.
Even back in his ECW days, he was better than his ECW days. I'm like, fucking sign this guy. What the fuck are you doing? Who the fuck is in the back sleeping on this dude? You're signing all these other guys, but you don't sign Too Cold Scorpio?
He doesn't do it anymore. Like, he's pretty much semi-retired, but during that run, he was full-time in Noah. He was locked up in Noah. I remember I have the DVD upstairs of the Hardcore Homecoming show, and from 05 that aired from the arena the night before the actual one-night stand in 05 that Shane Douglas put on. He's on that show. He comes out with one half of, like, the GHC tag belts, so he was... And he was cut. I agree. He had like an 8-pack. He was the best he ever looked, man. Yeah, he was a tough as nails competitor. One of my favorite of all time. Underrated guy for sure. Too Cold.
I loved his matches with Chris Jericho back in the day, dude. Those were fucking revolutionary, dude.
I just loved how Paul Heyman, which he did with so many guys, Too Cold as like TV champ. He let him be himself. Let him be a cocky heel. Like, you turn Too Cold Scorpio heel and it gets over, you're doing something good booking wise. Because he's like. He'd seem like a guy you could never turn heel, but he made it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing, too, that I enjoyed was, like, just the way he was, like, giving, like, national stars, like, mainstream attention, like Ryu Hayabusa and fucking, Ryu Hayabusa, Rey Mysterio, Jushin Thunder Liger, fucking Taka Michinoku, Juventud Guerrero, like Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, like all the Jericho, Lance Storm, like all these different national guys, like that would have never gotten a chance had Paul Heyman not gotten, ECW off the ground. Like, because what he was doing, dude, was, putting eyeballs on these guys, like in a big way, in a big fucking way. Like before the Cruiserweight division, it was ECW, Extreme Lucha Libre, before, and it was international three-way dances, and it was all these different things that were just fucking revolutionary. Like I to this day, the fondest memories I have of ECW is watching matches between Tajiri and Super Crazy and Little Guido. Like, holy shit!
Even at the reunion shows, those matches kicked ass when they were even older.
Yeah, and it's like, and you know what the funny thing is too? I'm pissed that like the FBI never, like the proper incarnation of the FBI never got a fucking shake in WWE, because like
not even close to a fair shake.
It was fucking ridiculous, like, because they were great against Tajiri and Super Crazy. That match was awesome from the 2006 version of One Night Stand. That's one of the matches that stands out to me, is that tag match. Like, FBI just looked great, and then they were just treated as jobbers the rest of the time. I'm like, how the fuck could you do that?
I even feel like they should have got signed, like, when they had Tracy Smothers doing, like, the dancing gimmick and shit. Like, that was tailor-made for, like, jobbers on Raw, the Attitude Era. They should have at least got the call,
It's just sad, man. It's just fucking sad, man. Like,
I guess now hindsight, but you go back and you see just the talent from all the promotions back then, and I can see, I guess, why maybe a Little Guido wouldn't stand out or something. Why get Little Guido?
No, I disagree. I think he's one of the most underrated performers in a long time.
Oh, I agree too, but when you're surrounded with guys with the credentials of the talent back then, it's not like now where a lot of these are NXT called. Back then, these were all established guys, just who would jump where. I was like, shit, the talent was like a never-ending cycle,
No, I get that. Fair enough, but like, I feel like he never got his fair shake. I mean,
I'm glad he did. You know what? I'm glad he never went, because he never would have got a chance to have those kind of matches in either of the two, I don't think. And if he did, it would have been what like Nitro in a Cruiserweight match. You wouldn't even remember to this day. So at least ECW, he's probably glad too that he got a chance to showcase his craft like that and given time, on pay-per-view matches and stuff. So I think it worked out for him,
I think it did too. I don't know. Like looking at a guy like Nunzio, maybe not so much Tony Mamaluke, but just like Nunzio, like.
See, Big Sally's where Vince missed it. That guy was perfect.
Oh yeah,
fucking house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit.
But I still loved Little Guido. Like I think I even said this too. Is like, you want a fucking great match, like. Put Little Guido Monotero and fucking Dean Malenko in a match. My God, you want mat wrestling? You got it. Like, those guys are technical wizards. Like, he was right up there with them. I honestly thought. I feel like they was massively underrated.
I always think it's good to go back and watch when Tajiri first came in. Like, when he had his little blue undies and he was, like, clean shaven, having the matches.
Oh, my God, right?
But, dude, he's still the same Tajiri, works style. Besides, he didn't do the mist, but that was it. Same badass style. That's another unsung hero who doesn't get a lot of credit for what he, the matches he had in ECW was Tajiri.
Absolutely. Tajiri and WWE, too, my God. Like, he's fucking great. Like, and that's where I hope, like, if Tajiri got a chance in the Cruiserweight Classic, maybe Little Guido will get a chance if they do another Cruiserweight Classic. That's one can only hope. But I loved ECW just for those kind of matches. Like, even like, I remember too, like when Sandman, like, all of a sudden he would have a good day. Like, he would just have a great fucking day. And I remember, like, specifically one of those was that ECW Guilty as Charged 2001, the final one pay-per-view they aired, and he was just on his fucking A game that whole match. Like, he botched like one or two moves, but other than that, he was fucking great. Like, almost everything else went off without a hitch, and I'm like, that's when you can appreciate, like, Sandman really was passionate about ECW. And I feel like that was the general consensus with that entire locker room.
I don't know why
From
I found it
beginning
so
to the end.
humorous. Like when he left for WCW for a while, right? And he was Hack. But remember, he
Right.
came back, but he came back in tremendous shape. So it was like you could tell he was in gyms every day. I just thought it was really funny back then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah,
But then he went, lo and behold, that gut came back fast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, no kidding. I mean, he really did try. Like, I feel like he heard that ECW was coming back under the WWE brand, and I feel like he was like, oh, maybe this will work. And then he saw the writing on the wall, and slowly here came the beer gut back.
It's also crazy to think, too, one of the gimmicks that came through ECW that I always thought was a Paul Heyman creation, was totally 100% tailor-made for ECW, was made by Jim Cornette, who came up with the Gangstas in Smoky Mountain. Who would have thought?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Jim Cornette's the Gangstas, and how he used those fucking New Jack's a fucking nutbag. Oh, my God.
I still feel like New Jack, yeah, it's New Jack, but he got one of the biggest pops out of all the guys that, besides like Rob Van Dam, like if the baby faces are getting beat up, right, and all hope was lost. And I remember like a specific show there, even like New Jack won't be here. There was like footage of him being attacked in the parking lot. It might be Heatwave '98 actually, like a 6-man tag or something. And when that music hit, those fucking people acted like they all won the lottery simultaneously. They were so happy to see him because they knew what he was coming out with, his shopping cart full of weapons, and it was booked right,
He was booked so fucking great. I remember in Heatwave '98, man. Oh my God, that was the biggest pop that dude ever got. Like legit. Like he comes out and like don't watch the dubbed version on the network. Listen to the undubbed version if you can find it on Daily Motion. When that Nas music hit, fucking he rushed out there, started laying motherfuckers out, and it was just this iconic moment of like New Jack, LSD, Sandman, and Tommy Dreamer all like standing in a victory pose was the epitome of ECW, like right there. You know what I mean? Like the Dudleys getting their shit kicked in, getting their fucking comeuppance, even though they won the match, I think. And the hero standing tall.
And also a character solely based off drug references. What's more fucking ECW than that? LSD. Little Spike.
Yeah, I mean, my God, man. It's just ECW is the shit. It really was. I miss it sometimes. I'm glad they're not there anymore. But goddamn, I do like storytelling. Talk about timeless storytelling. I mean, ECW had it in spades. Legit.
I think even if it would have stuck around, if it wouldn't have gone under, I still don't think it would have held up. They would have had to change something over time. Especially if it was still around now, they would have had to change like a Ring of Honor style by far, where the action speaks to it more. Because CZW, I mean, yes, I guess it has its fan base, but it's never on the buzz level of a Ring of Honor, and never has been, besides like the fucking war with Ring of Honor in like 06. So it's that demographic gets less and less every year because I think fans are way more refined.
Let me rant about CCW for a minute too, because like I hate CCW. I hate IWA too. Like they fall into the same category to me. The only good things that ever came out of CCW are two people: Rich Swann, for all intents and purposes, if you can look past what he did, and Dean Ambrose. And there might be more, but you can't be asked to fucking check the roster.
There's a lot of guys that passed through CCW. I mean, not every match CCW's had is dog shit, but still.
Well, right. But then you have a guy, and then the same thing with IWA. The three people that I remember from IWA: Cole Cabana, obviously, Chris Hero, and CM Punk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the three you remember. Everything else is garbage. And like I remember, I was watching I'm subscribed to a reaction channel. Don't hate me. Sorry, content guys. Sorry, but I was like subscribed to a content created channel, and they were like reacting to this compilation. Like they're like casual wrestling fans. And they were like watching the IWA CCW like most extreme compilation, and it was just fucking. All the reaction was the same. It's like, why do people do this? And I was like, we're hardcore fans, and we still don't understand.
Because light tubes don't hurt as much as you think they do. That's why they do it.
Yeah, fair enough, but still, like, well, actually, it doesn't hurt when you first go through it. If you don't get them cleaned out, that shit can fuck you up for life. So get your light tubes cleaned, kids, if you're gonna do a backyard bullshit thing.
You know what
But
else
here's
can
the
fuck
thing.
you up for life, James? Listening to an episode of Hibiki Highspots, and I want to thank you, man, for doing this spontaneously tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
One more time.
But yeah, fuck CCW. Sorry, I had to get that out there. Fuck CCW.
We will have plenty of other opportunities to bitch about all the shitty promotions we can. But before I pass out, and quite frankly my fucking laptop dies, where can everyone catch you? All that goodness.
You can check me out on youtube.com/user/jhebertsign95. You can also check me out on Twitter at jhebertsign95. I'm about to reach, I'm 200 away from 3,000 subscribers on that channel. You guys can also check me out on youtube.com/user/WYWPride. That's my CW League Women's Youth Wrestling. You can check me out here and there, right here on Hibiki TMD. You can check me out every Saturday for Saturday Night Mars on Brighton and also Future Entertainment. And you can also check me out on the Wrestling Rundown, Wrestling Fortune 44.
There you have it. Speaking of Future Entertainment, shout out to Logan again, who did have net issues again. He messaged me during. So thanks for being on, man. You can catch my Future Entertainment with James, our good friend Jenna Lee, and all the pallies over at Future Entertainment on YouTube. James, my man, thank you again. Look forward to having you back in the future. As always, follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. All the goodness, gaming, pro wrestling, right here. Until then, Hibiki Highspots. See you then.